بسم الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين، أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى أزواجه وذريته كما صليت على آل إبراهيم، وبارك على محمد وعلى أزواجه وذريته كما باركت على آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Inshallah, today the 27th of Safar 1438, matching the 27th of November 2016, the Sunday, and we are inshallah going to go through the first part of our session, and that is the book titled Al-Mu'in ala Fahm al-Juz' al-Thalathin, the helper to understand or the helping book to understand the 30th part of the Quran. As was mentioned before, this book is authored by Dr. Zaid Umar Abdullah, and he's originally from Jordan, and he's a teacher in Arabia, in the universities there. And he authored this book in a simple Arabic language to benefit the young folks who don't know a lot of Arabic or not deep into Arabic, and to help also the learners of the Arabic language who are trying to learn the Arabic of the Quran also, which will lead to understanding the Quran in a good way, and this will help us also in our prayers, as this last part of the Quran is what is mostly used in recitation and prayer. Today we are doing Surah 100. Last week it was 99, Az-Zalzala, and today it is Surah 100, and that is Surah Al-Aadiyaat, which means that how many surahs are left if we are doing 100? 14, as the Quran is 114 chapters, 114 surahs. So Alhamdulillah, we are approaching the end of this book. And it was a lovely and a wonderful and amazing experience that we went through with the Sheikh. We start first by the meanings, a word for word meaning of the Quran by Dr. Muhammad Muhar Ali. And once again, this is an amazing book for the one who wants to learn the meanings of the Quran and to learn the Arabic also, because on the footnotes he has a wealth of information in the footnotes for the one who wants to learn the Arabic language. So it comes in 3 volumes. We used to have some here, but if some are interested, we can bring more of this, because it's a very beneficial book to keep and to read through, inshallah. And my intention, inshallah, is maybe one of those sessions we will just sit and read pages or 2 pages of the Quran, and then just read through the meanings from this book and going through the footnotes or the side notes, as he puts them on the side of the book. So inshallah, we start with it. Surah Al-Aadiyaat, as we said, Surah 100, the galloping studs. Yani the horses that run, right? وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبْحًا, by the galloping studs snorting. Yani the horses that run, and they make the sound because of their breathing hard, right? They are panting, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes an oath by these speedily running horses that are meant especially for fighting. And dabhan is the sound that the horse makes when he is breathing hard, right? That is the snorting or panting. فَالْمُورِيَاتِ قَدْحًا, those horses, and causing sparks by hoop strikes. So they make those sparks by their hooves when they are running. فَالْمُغِيرَاتِ صُبْحًا, and by the riding steeds in the early dawn. فَالْمُغِيرَات. So it talks about the horses, again, that is launching a raid, launching an attack. An attack done subhan, in the morning time. فَأَثَرْنَ بِهِ نَقْعًا. So these horses, by this running, they raising thereby dust clouds. They move the earth that they are running on, and they cause dust to come out and form, right? فَوَسَطْنَ بِهِ جَمْعًا, and penetrating therewith in the crowd. So these horses, they run and they get amidst, inside of the army of the enemies. إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ. Now this is the first part. Oaths that Allah makes. Then Allah says, He makes an oath for what? إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لِرَبِّهِ لَكَنُودٌ. Verily, man is to his Lord ungrateful. وَإِنَّهُ عَلَى ذَلِكَ لَشَهِيدٌ. And indeed, he is on that a witness. He witnesses over himself that this is the case, that he is ungrateful. وَإِنَّهُ لِحُبِّ الْخَيْرِ لَشَدِيدٌ. And indeed, he is, in the love of wealth, most intense. In terms of loving money, he is, or goodness in general, khair, he is very much, much, as he says here, intense, very, very strongly loving the wealth. وَإِنَّهُ لِحُبِّ الْخَيْرِ لَشَدِيدٌ. Right? So, for instance, you will find on the footnote, for instance, the word intense here that he used, shadid. On the side note, he puts the shadid, shidad, right? Severe, most severe, stern, rigorous, hard, harsh, strong, intense. And then he tells you to look at other places where it showed up. Same word showed up in the Quran in different places, right? أَفَلَا يَعْلَمُ إِذَا بُعْثِرَ مَا فِي الْقُبُورِ. So here the first part, verses 1 to 5, right, is making the oath. Then what is being made for, what the oath is made for, is in verses 6, 7, and 8. Then the verses 9, 10, and 11 is an admonition, is an advice and a lesson. It says, أَفَلَا يَعْلَمُ إِذَا بُعْثِرَ مَا فِي الْقُبُورِ. Does he then not know when upturned, overturned, when upturned will be all that is all that is in the graves. There's in that is missing here. وَحُصِّلَ مَا فِي الصُّدُورِ. And exposed will be all that is in the hearts. And on the side he tells you the word حُصِّلَ, he or it was made known, exposed, attained, or obtained. Gives you the different meanings for the word حُصِّلَ, the Arabic meaning of it, and what matches that in English. And he tells you what kind of a verb, and he tells you the past of it, passive form of حصل, for instance, right? Like that. So, this side notes are very beneficial and they give more meaning. وَحُصِّلَ مَا فِي الصُّدُورِ إِنَّ رَبَّهُمْ بِهِمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ لَخَبِيرٌ. Verily their Lord will be about them on that day all aware, all aware. Now once again, because the Shaykh is trying to do a word-for-word translation of the Quran, this limits him and restricts him to use certain forms to use the language in English in a way that will correspond to the Arabic, and this might make it a little bit, unusual, right? So here, let's go through the meaning from the Noble Quran. By the steeds that run with panting breath, striking sparks of fire by their hoofs, and scouring to the raid at dawn, and raise the dust in clouds the while, penetrating forthwith as one into the midst of the foe. Verily man, between brackets, disbeliever, is ungrateful to his Lord, and to that fact he bears witness, that is, between brackets, by his deeds. Right? And verily he is violent in the love of wealth. Right? He uses violent, so much intense, right? Knows he not that when the contents of the graves are brought out and poured forth, between brackets, all mankind is resurrected, and that which is in the breasts of men shall be made known. Verily, that day, that is, between brackets, the day of resurrection, their Lord will be well acquainted with them, between brackets, as to their deeds, and between brackets again, and will reward them for their deeds. Right? This is why I said, and I keep saying, that the Noble Quran by Muhammad Muhsin Khan and Taqiyuddin al-Hilali is the best you can find as an English translation for the meaning of the Quran. That is because it is made specifically by a scholar who is, his value and his worth is unknown. Taqiyuddin al-Hilali, originally from Morocco, he has toured the world and he speaks different languages, right? Yes, Taqiyuddin al-Hilali, along with Muhammad Muhsin Khan. Muhammad Muhsin Khan is a medical doctor who used to live in Arabia, and he ventured with Dr. Taqiyuddin al-Hilali to do that, because Taqiyuddin al-Hilali is the legal scholar, and he is very into the Arabic language and the Quran and Hadith and fiqh and tafsir. MashaAllah, barakallah. He is from the rare to find scholars. He was a teacher in India, he went to Iraq, he was in Saudi, he led in the Haram even in Medina, but he used to make the salah long and the people complained, so he left it. He didn't want to lead in the prayer. But he was appointed as an imam in the salah, to lead the salah in Medina. But he was from those who make the salah long, so some people complained, so he didn't want to go on with it. Right? He got replaced. And he went to Germany, and he speaks German fluently, English, mashallah, someone, one of a kind, So, as you can see here with those brackets, although sometimes those brackets, they make the flow of reading a little bit difficult, but they are giving you the correct meanings from the original works of Islam. Ibn Kathir, Al-Tabari, Al-Qurtubi, those main books of tafsir, that's where they got this information, right? So those brackets there, that's why there is the copy that came out from Sahih International, which is based on this one, but then they try to remove the brackets and make it easier to read, like modern English, right? More modern English, right? More modern English. And it was one of the objectives of Muhammad Muhsin Khan and Taqiyuddin al-Hilali to use the words that are easy, and not to use words that are, more difficult to understand by the common reader. That's why when you read, for instance, the translation by Abdullah Yusuf Ali, his English there is more of the Shakespearean English, right? Right? This one, they intended not to go like that, right? So if you are someone who wants, but then the meaning now in this translation is far much more authentic than the one done by Abdullah Yusuf Ali, although he tried his best, but then there remains major things there that here this tafsir is free from those errors, right? Inshallah, there is no book after the book of Allah except that is give and take, but there is a big difference between a book that has one or two mistakes and a book that has hundreds of them, right? So anyhow, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward all of those who did their best to present Islam in those different languages. But then our job is to try to, inshallah, get the best or use the best. And I hope that we are not just using that, but adding to what is already available. Things that are more relevant, things that are beneficial, inshallah, by going through the translation of this book, Al-Mu'in ala Fahm al-Juz' al-Thalathin. So as usual, the Shaykh starts by the Quranic script and how the dictation is. Then he moves on to say, أبرز موضوعات السورة, the main themes, the main topics of the chapter. الحديث عن فضل خيل المجاهدين, speaking about the excellence of the horses of the warriors, the mujahideen, those who strive in the cause of Allah. وعن بعض الصفات السيئة في الإنسان, and speaking about some of the bad qualities of the human. معاني الكلمات, the meanings of the words. العاديات, العاديات, الخيل التي تركض. العاديات, الخيل, الخيل, horses. التي تركض, which run, right? والعاديات ضبحا, ضبحا, the word ضبحا, he says, صوت أنفاس الخيل, the sound of the breaths of the horses, وهي تركض, while running, right? Panting, snorting, right? أثرنا به نقعا, أثرنا أخرجنا, أثرنا أخرجنا. أثرنا, it means to give out, to cause to come out, right? So with their hooves, they cause the dust to come out. نقعا is the dust, غبارا, غبارا, نقعا, غبارا. Now, the beauty of this now, he's explaining the Arabic with Arabic. So you're getting the word in Arabic from the Quran, and you're getting it also, the meaning of it in Arabic. And by the way, if you stop a common passerby who's an Arabic speaking person, you tell him, tell me what's naqa. He will stop and think. He may know, he may not know. When majority maybe they won't. But you tell him ghubar, he will get it right away. Right? He will get it right away. So this is how it is. Right? Dabhan also, if you ask what is dabh, he wouldn't know. Right? So the part 30, although it has those short surahs, but then it has those words that nowadays they're not that commonly used, and therefore even the Arabic speaking person, he needs to refer to the tafsir to understand the meanings of the vocabulary sometimes, right? Al-Mughirati subhan, he says, Al-Khayl. Al-Mughirati subhan, we said that the horse is launching a raid, right? He says, Al-Khayl, the horses, التي تهجم على العدو في الصباح, which attack the enemies in the morning. فوسطنا به جمعا. وسط, وسط, the middle, right? وكذلك جعلناكم أمة وسطا, right? A middle nation, meaning justly balanced nation, right? So here he says, الخيل عندما تدخل وسط جموع الأعداء. The وسط جموع الأعداء. The horses when they enter in the midst of the crowds of the enemies. كنود إن الإنسان لربه لكنود. He said جحود. This is another word. If you say كنود, what does it mean? Some might know, some might not know. Right? كنود means جحود, denying, right? Ungrateful. ينكر نعم الله. He rejects, he denies Allah's favors. بعثر ما في القبور أخرج, extracted. So whatever is in the graves, it will be brought out. أخرج, brought out. حصل جمع. حصل جمع. So حصل ما في الصدور, what is in the breasts, what's in the chests, were gathered together. جمع, gathered together. حصل means gathered together. جمع. I thought that there are words that should have been added to here other than these. One of them is al-muriyat, the second one, al-muriyati qadhan. Al-muriyat, what is al-muriyat? Right? So if you stop someone and ask him, Arabic speaking, he might not get it, right? Unless he read the meaning, right? Al-muriyat. Al-muriyat, this is speaking again, we understood the meaning from the English, that when the hoofs of the horses strike the hard parts or the rocks, then they cause sparks to come. And this is, for instance, Surah Al-Waqi'ah. Many of us know Surah Al-Waqi'ah and are used to reciting it or memorized it. أَفَرَأَيْتُمُ النَّارَ الَّتِي تُورُونَ. Right? Turun meaning that you kindle, that you start, that you start it usually by the spark. Right? This is how they used to do it. They will hit the two rocks together and then the spark comes out and then they start and kindle a fire. Right? So muriyat, the horses that spark the fire with their feet, with their hoofs like that. Right? Qadhan, qadh is qadhan means shararan. So al-muriyat, al-qadihat بحوافرها نارا أو الموقدات بحوافرها نارا. The ones that spark or start or kindle fire by their hoofs. This is al-muriyat. Qadhan are the sparks themselves. Qadhan, they do, qadh means to spark, right? Al-qadhu istikhraj nar, to bring out the fire, right? To bring out the sparks of fire. Right? This is al-qadh. Now, at-tafsir al-ijmali lis-surah, the general meaning of the chapter. He says, يقسم الله تعالى في بداية هذه السورة بالخيل. Allah makes an oath in the beginning of this chapter. He makes an oath by the horses. التي يركبها المجاهدون في سبيل الله. The horses which the mujahidun, the warriors in the way of Allah, they ride. يقسم الله تعالى بها. Allah makes an oath by them, by these horses. وهي تركض مسرعة, making an oath by them while they, the horses, are running speedily, fast, running fast. فيخرج الشرر من تحت أرجلها. So the sparks come from under their feet. بسبب احتكاك حوافرها بحجارة الأرض. Because of the friction, احتكاك, the friction, احتكاك, the friction of their hoofs with the rocks of the earth. هذه الخيول, these horses, التي يهجم بها المجاهدون في الصباح الباكر, which the warriors, they attack, they launch attack with it in the early morning. صباح باكر, صباح, morning, باكر, early. على الأعداء, they launch an attack against the enemies. تثير الغبار في هذا الصباح. These horses, they cause a lot of dust to come out, dust clouds to come out in this morning, in this morning. وهي تندفع لتدخل وسط جموع الأعداء. And these horses, while these horses are rushing, while they are embarking amidst the gatherings of, or the crowds, جموع, the crowds of the enemies. وهذا يدل على شجاعة من يركبها من المجاهدين. And this indicates the bravery of those who are riding it, of the mujahideen, of the warriors. أقسم الله تعالى بهذه الخيول الكريمة. Allah made an oath by these noble horses على أن في الإنسان بعض الصفات السيئة. Allah made an oath by these noble horses that the human has some evil or bad qualities. ومنها, amongst these bad qualities, one, الإنسان لا يعترف بفضل الله عليه. The human does not confess the bounty or the excellence of Allah over him. He does not confess, he does not admit to the bounties of Allah upon him. فإنه ينسى الخير الذي يأتيه من الله. For surely he forgets the goodness, the good that comes to him from Allah. ويتذكر المصائب التي تصيبه. And he remembers the calamities that happen to him, that befalls him. So you remember what is bad and you forget the many things that are good. إن تصرفات هذا الإنسان وأعماله. Surely the dealings, the conduct of this human and his actions, they indicate, they prove على أنه منكر لفضل الله, that he is denying the bounty of Allah. فهو يشهد على نفسه بذلك. So he testifies against his own self with that, by the actions that he does. Number two, the second quality that is bad, الإنسان يحب المال حبا كثيرا. The human, he loves the wealth, money, so much. حبا, so much love he has for it. يجعله في مرات كثيرة يجمعه من طرق محرمة. This makes him many times, مرات, times, كثيرة, many, a lot of times, it makes him gather the wealth, gather the money from ways that are prohibited, من طرق محرم. ويجعله أيضا يقصر في عبادة الله. And it makes him also fall short in the worship of Allah. بسبب انشغاله بجمع المال. Because of him being busied, because of him being overwhelmed by collecting money. يحذر الله تعالى هذا الإنسان. Allah warns this human ويطلب منه أن يذكر جيدا يوم القيامة. He requests from him to remember very well the day of judgment. ذلك اليوم الذي يخرج الناس فيه من قبورهم للحساب. That day when the humans, the people, come out of their graves for reckoning, for accountability, حساب. في هذا اليوم يجمع الله الناس. And on this day Allah gathers the people. ويخرج لهم كل ما حصل منهم في الدنيا. And He brings out for them all that has been done by them, everything that they did in this worldly life, of statements من أقوال وأفعال, actions, ومعتقدات, beliefs, ويحاسبهم عليها, and He holds them accountable for them. إن هذا الأمر يسير على الله تعالى. Surely this affair, this matter is very easy for Allah. لأنه سبحانه مطلع على أعمال الناس عليم بها. That is because He, subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is well aware or all aware of the actions of the people. He is all knowledgeable of them. Right? So this was the tafsir of this surah, the Aadiyaat. Next is فوائد وإرشادات, benefits and guidelines from the surah. Number one, تبين الآيات فضل الجهاد في سبيل الله تعالى. The verses of this surah, they clarify the excellence of jihad, of fighting, striving in the cause of Allah, in the way of Allah. Number two, يظلم الإنسان نفسه عندما ينكر نعم الله عليه. The human, he wrongs himself. He does injustice. Or he does injustice. He is unjust. He does injustice to himself. عندما ينكر نعم الله عليه. When he denies the favors of Allah upon him. Number three, يحب الإنسان نعيم الدنيا كثيرا. The human loves the enjoyment of the worldly life a lot. He loves it a lot. Number four, يوم القيامة يخرج الله الناس من قبورهم. On the day of judgment, Allah brings out the people from their graves. ويجمع أعمالهم, and He gathers together for them their deeds. ويجمع أعمالهم ليحاسبهم عليها, so that He will hold them accountable for them, for their deeds. تدريبات ومناقشات, exercises and discussions. Number one, أذكر معاني الكلمات التالية. Mention the meanings of the following words. أثرنا, كنود, بعثرة. أثرنا به نقعا. أثرنا, this is when they make the dust come out, right? أثرنا, إثارة. So the word أثارة is to cause, to bring out the dust in this case. But generally, it's to entice, to spark, to bring out, right? So if I want to make you enthusiastic, they say أثار حماسهم. جزاك الله خيرا, بارك الله فيك. He enticed them. He moved their passions, right? Made them enthusiastic. إثارة, right? Kanud, the word kanud, it means ungrateful, in denial of the favors of Allah. Kanud. Right? Bu'thira, it means here, reference to the graves. Bu'thira ma fil qubur, meaning it was brought out, right? And bu'thira, it could mean, from the meanings, is when things are out, but then they are unorganized. Let's say someone, may Allah save us all from that. Someone came to rob your home, and he went inside looking for the money. So he doesn't want, books in the way, or a vase or whatever. So he starts pushing. So he has all your stuff spread out, right? So we say بعثر محتويات الغرفة, right? He made the things that are in the room, he made them scattered everywhere. So that's what will happen when the graves, بعثرة, the people will come out of their graves, and everything, everything will be scattered everywhere. That is the inside, right? بعثر ما في القبور. Number two, أذكر شيئين يحصلان عندما تركض خيل المجاهدين. أذكر شيئين, mention two things, يحصلان, that will happen, عندما, when, تركض خيل المجاهدين, when the horses of the warriors, they run. They want you to mention two things. So when they run, you have the sparks coming out, and you have the dust also, right? So عندما تركض خيل المجاهدين تثير الغبار, تثير الغبار, they cause the dust to rise and scatter, right? And also توري النار, right? توقد النار, they spark the fire also. They cause the fire, sparks of fire to come out. Number 3, ذكرت السورة بعض الصفات السيئة في الإنسان. The chapter mentioned some of the bad qualities in the human. اذكر صفتين منها. Mention 2 qualities. Right? إن الإنسان لربه لكنود. He is denying the favors of Allah. وإنه لحب الخير لشديد. And he is very much, right? Very much strong, powerful, intense in loving the wealth, loving the goodness, the pleasures of this world. ما معنى قول الله تعالى وحصل ما في الصدور? What is the meaning of the statement of Allah Ta'ala وحصل ما في الصدور? That what is in the breasts or what is in the chests is gathered together, right? Yani even intentions and beliefs, they will be brought out. They will be gathered and they will be brought out. They will be revealed on the day of judgment. Things that are hidden inside, they will be revealed. يوم تبلى السرائر, as we did in Surah At-Tariq. Surah At-Tariq. The secret things that are hidden, they will be brought out and they will be known. Number 5, اكتب الكلمات التالية بالرسم الكتابي. They want you to write the words according to the modern dictation. Number 6, اختر الجواب الصحيح من العبارات الموجودة أمام الجمل التالية. اختر, select الجواب الصحيح, the correct answer, من العبارات الموجودة, of the expressions that are found in front of أمام الجمل التالية, in front of the following sentences. So they will give us a sentence and they will give us choices to choose from, right? They want you to select the correct choice. Number 1, حب الإنسان للمال يجعله, the love of the human for wealth. It makes him A, ألف, يتصدق به, donating it. B, با, يجمعه بكل وسيلة. He gathers it in every means, right? So which one is حب الإنسان للمال يجعله يجمعه بكل وسيلة? It makes him collect it in whatever means, in every means, in every way. Number 2, يجمع الله يوم القيامة أعمال الناس. Allah Azza wa Jal gathers together on the day of judgment the deeds, the actions of the humans, the people. A, ألف, ليحاسبهم عليها, so that he will hold them accountable for them. B, ليغفرها لهم, so that he will forgive them for these sins, that is for them, for the people. Allah will gather those deeds so that they will be held accountable for them. أفلا يعلم إذا بعثر ما في القبور وحصل ما في الصدور إن ربهم بهم يومئذ لخبير. Number 3, تخرج الخيول من تحت أرجلها وهي تركض. The horses, they will bring out from under their feet while they are running. They will bring out what? A, ألف, ماء, water. B, غبارا, dust. Right? The answer is that they will bring out dust, غبار. Right? So this sounds easy because we are doing it together and we're doing the. But imagine you are doing the Arabic only now and you are figuring out which one to choose, right? Right? So there is a sort of a challenge, and it is hoped, inshallah, after we finish this book, inshallah, which, as we said, inshallah, Allah will extend our lives to be able to finish this. We still have 14 more surahs to go. Then the suggestion is that we sit and read it together, just in Arabic, no translation, right? And see how we do with that. Of course, all of these recordings are there, available, يعني, for the previous, from the beginning of Amma يتساءلون, the beginning of the chapter. So they are there, available for you to watch, and you can, work on them at home with your friend, with your wife, with your, brother, and try to make sense out of these. And as I said, this is now the part 30 of the Quran, which is very important for us to know, because we are using it a lot in the Salah. So when you understand what you're saying, it's going to be different. When you look at وَإِنَّهُ لِحُبِّ الْخَيْرِ لَشَدِيدٌ, خayr, good, right? Hub, it's love. Shadid, you mean he's very severe, very tough in that, very much loving to the money, right? This, when you know it, it's not like when it's read and it's gone, right? وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبْحًا فَالْمُورِيَاتِ قَدْحًا فَالْمُغِيرَاتِ صُبْحًا. What are these? If you have no clue, right? But then now you know it's an oath by the horses which are launched to war in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? So basically there's the excellence of jihad there, because the tools of jihad is the horses, the horse, right? So this is the case, right? So with this we will stop here. We inshallah give you a 5-minute break until we get the DVD changed. If you want to drink water or you want to do something, or you have a question or a comment, right? So once again, the translations, you have the word for word by Dr. Muhammad Muhar Ali. I got this from the non-profit bookstore in Etobicoke. We can still get more. The 3 volumes was $50. I don't know if the price is raised or not, but if it is, I would expect 3 volumes, maybe $60. It's the information contained is really worth much more than that. You cannot really put a price tag on it. Secondly is the Noble Quran by Taqi ad-Din al-Hilali and Muhsin Khan.